Radio Free Tatooine presents Galactic War Report, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast.
Oshuda, fellow Holotable hustlers, you're tuned into Galactic War Report, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast that's better than some and worse than others. I'm Sean, a.k.a. the other Sean, and sitting across the holotable from me is Josh, a.k.a. the Golden Pop-Tart.
So what, is this week 3 of our new guild? I think it's been about 3.
Is it?
Or 2?
Has it? Man, I was thinking it had been about 2, but maybe it has been 3. Time flies when you're barely surviving.
Right? I mean, I'm just thinking, how long has it been? I got to put it on the calendar or something. It's the birth of the new guild, or we can have it a birthday.
We could. We should. We should celebrate the birthday going forward. Absolutely. That's I think going to be a lot of what we talk about tonight is the experience of being a Tatooiner. It's really caught on.
A little bit.
The whole wieners rise.
Yeah.
Kind of battle cry in the Discord chat. It's been pretty fun. We have done a couple raids. We've done a territory war, so we're going to talk about that a bit. There's no in-game update that's really notable. They're just kind of poking around at the whole banner situation from last week. I guess we've got some Grand Arena we can get into as well. But first, let's celebrate some actual Blurf days. All right. It's a pretty big week. Pretty big week on the 15th as this show launches. We've got Chief Chirpa, who has been in the game for 9 years.
I mean, it's getting there.
I don't know math. 9 years of Chief Chirpa.
I wonder what the life expectancy of an Ewok is. I bet there's somebody out there that may know that.
You know, I don't know. You think there's bugs that only live a few days, and there's tortoises and parrots that live for over 100 years, whatever. Humans are very fortunate to have pretty long life expectancies. What blows my mind is some creatures, you think of a dog or a cat, they're going to live a while compared to some of these other animals, right? Did you know that possums and raccoons, their life expectancy is a year?
Jeez.
That's it? It's crazy to me. And the number one cause of death for raccoons is cars. You would think that's a joke, but no, that's what kills them off. Wild. I don't know.
Fun fact.
So that's what kind of show it's going to be.
No updates? You're going to get Animola updates.
The point is, maybe, Ewoks end up as roadkill and they don't have a high life expectancy. Until they if they reach adulthood, maybe they'll live a while. But so many of them get hit by cars that. Yeah,
or speeders,
Chief Chirpa, 9 years. That's why he's chief. On the 16th, Kanan Jarrus, who will have been in the game for 8 years. 8 years of Phoenix. Whew. These numbers they're bad. This is the whole, did you know that on this day in 45 years ago, that album that you came out, and then let's see, on the 17th, we have Seventh Sister. Okay, this is a little more tolerable. This is 3 years. 3 years of Inquisitorius. Okay, that's better. And on the 18th, we have Bo-Katan, the original Bo-Katan, turning 4 years old. So happy Blurf Day, one and all. All characters from Star Wars Rebels, except for Chief Chirpa. He should have had. I feel like Chirpa needs some kind of cameo somewhere. Maybe in the Mandalorian movie. Like, let's see what Chirpa's up to. He got like a crime ring he's running now. Competes with Boba Fett's, something like that.
Something. Now, if they don't release somebody on 3/19, they're breaking the trend.
I know.
Right?
It's got to happen. But
it's been a couple years, though.
I think we're out of time.
Yeah.
Like the way, these events pop into the game about a week in advance now, and you just have to sit there and look at Crosshair and think, right? I'm going to get him soon, but... yeah. All right, now let's take a look at this week's upcoming in-game events brought to you by swgohevents.com. For a complete list of past, present, and future events, swgohevents.com is a universe of info in a galaxy of heroes. And for this upcoming week, we got a few, right? On the 15th, we have a military might assault battle, as well as Executor coming back, the discarded doctrine. So anyone working on that?
Still me.
You get a couple more blueprints. What is that? Those are 10 per run, right?
Yeah. It's real nice to be able to hit auto, though.
Yeah. Yep, those forever farms, capital ships. On the 16th, we've got Galactic Bounties 2, as well as Smuggler's Run, the original Smuggler's Run. On the 17th, we have an Omega battle on Dathomir. On the 18th, Defense of Dathomir, the one where you get your Talzin shards and or Zetas. On the 19th, we have an assault battle. This will be Rebel Roundup. And then on the 20th, we've got Dark Sovereign, your fleet mastery event for Leviathan blueprints. So, there's some things. We got a couple assault battles, a couple fleet masteries, and then, a little bit of other activity. This will be off week for Grand Arena, too.
Yeah. But we will have Conquest starting on the Monday night.
On Monday, yeah. Yep. Well, the peace and quiet was nice while it lasted.
There you go.
But honestly, I need more Datacrons. So
I'm with you.
And I'm ready. Bring it on. Let me get my crons. And, based off the last run of this, it was not that bad.
No.
I feel like I learned enough doing that one that I should be able to just kind of tear through this one and really spend some time getting my Datacrons where they need to be, because right now they're not where they need to be. That's what I hate about the way I play the game. I was going to say Datacrons. Like, I understand it's me. It's not the game. It's me when it comes to how I never have enough Datacrons. It's because I take my sweet time getting through Conquest, and then the last 2 days I'm like, I haven't had a chance to grind any Datacrons when everyone I know has like 30 of them and I've got 4. Oops. So we'll try to be a little better about that this week. Now, I'm not going to do the whole intro to the news stories, because I'm going to be completely honest. There isn't a lot of news. I will say, though, I do want to give a little shout out to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoy what we do and we're worth $1 a month to you, if that's worth it to you, there's a way to show us. It's patreon.com/Galactic War Report. You can become a Jawa scavenger for $1 a month. You don't get a whole lot for it, but we appreciate it. The different tiers can get you other things like our access to our weekly Doth chat on Discord, where we chat every Wednesday night before we record the show, as well as even a shout out on the show or episodes a day early. So check it out if you got a little money. If you don't, keep listening for free. That's what I do with all the shows I listen to. So it's all good. Now then, I guess I did a little spiel there, but
yeah, you did.
Punch It, Pop-Tart.
All right.
Let me tee you up for no news.
Yeah, I was gonna say. And that was all the news. So let's
all right, who you
focus.
grinding?
Right? There you go. Well, I mean, I think for us, it is definitely a new time. I mean, we have now, so let's give a little bit of update on the guild here. So we are 40 out of 50 members. You know, we have a good group of folks that have joined. I mean, we're...
Now, a little backstory. Oh. I was forever in Black Sun Heroes as soon as guilds launched, right? Then there was a dirty merger. I mean, dirty as in, like, it didn't go right. You know, just like things kind of fell apart.
I'll still take it the other way.
Yeah, I mean, you can take it however, but basically we were supposed to merge with another guild and form 2 guilds, right? But some of us kind of got scuttled, and that's what happened to me, a founder. And so instead of just letting everyone spread to the winds, we started a new guild with any of the people who were kicked out of Black Sun Heroes who wanted to join, and several of them did. So it's cool if we were able to kind of salvage some community there, and it's an exciting guild. It's very fun. Josh has come in. We've brought more people in. We are still recruiting. Now, that's the backstory.
Yes. So
in case they didn't listen to the last couple episodes,
understandable there. So we do have 40 members now. So we are still looking for 10 more. You know, ideally, we're still looking for those folks that are going to be 10 million and above. Looking for those good rosters. Obviously, for it because I mean we're about what I think it's 450 million or so. Which really is...
I was just looking, yeah.
So it's actually 452,134,808, but I was rounding. So that's really not too bad. I mean, we have a pretty...
we're up to 465 now.
Ooh, look at that.
I don't know what happened, but that's where we're at now.
Nice. I mean, it feels like we did pretty well. And, you know, I think that obviously... We do have some folks that maybe under that 10 million that are asking to come into the guild. 100% understandable. I do think that we're going to be able to fill this up with 10 million above, and so or pretty close to that amount. So, I will say that one other thing that happened this week, I did get a promotion. So that means I was helping out with the adding of new folks. And I'll tell you what, it's not easy. Is when people are like, "Hey, I want to join," and you're like, I want to say thank you for requesting this, but your 1.1 million may not be right for us at this right time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a challenge.
Yeah, it is. And it's always a tough thing to balance where you just want community.
Yeah.
Right? If you listen to the show and you interact with us, I'd love to have you in the guild. But if your roster isn't in sync with ours, it's going to lead to weirdness down the road where I've seen it before in Black Sun Heroes where, like, if one person's roster isn't quite there, then it's kind of like we may say, hey, let's move on to this raid. And that person's like, I can't even participate. You know, I can't, I don't have a team that can do it, you know? So we are trying to keep it around the same, and that's why we're not saying we want like 12 13 million or something, you know. We're like 10 and up. You know, I'll take whatever, you know, but that's just kind of the benchmark we're going with. We've let a couple people in who are just a hair shy of that, but it's always with like, we got to do a little calculus, figure this out. Like there's a reason sometimes that we could do that. So anyways, honestly, when we first started this, I thought 10 million for a brand new guild, and we have nothing to offer.
I know, right? I know.
It's a chance to hang out with us, if that's a draw.
Yeah.
It's a chance to, like, we are community focused. We are trying to take care of each other and, like, not be trying to make that balance between, like, moving forward and progressing in the game and doing good things in game, but also not, like, you missed a deploy phase. What is your plan for next territory battle so that won't happen again? You know, like, I don't know. And who knows? In a couple weeks, maybe we kind of have to start to turn some screws and like, okay, well, there are some things we need to take care of. I don't know. But we're all having fun, and the vibes are great, and people are like just volunteering to do stuff. Like, hey, do we need any Relic 9 POWs? Because I'll take my POW to Relic 9. I don't care. I'll do it. You know, like everyone's chipping in, and that's super cool to see.
I mean, even myself, I'm going to actually work on something for platoons. I mean, that has to be like a Christmas miracle. I mean,
you were doing Zalbar.
I mean, it's a little selfish too, but you know, I mean,
why not? Yeah, no, good synergy. You got the Omicron, so it's good for the goose and the gander, right?
Yeah, right. There you go. Well, I mean, it really has been nice, and it does have that new guild feel. But on the other side of it, it's like the Discord's doing really well. I mean, it feels like we're, you know, all areas we're talking. It just feels like a good cohesive group. So. I mean, I've been poking around a little bit just on, okay, is everybody playing? Everybody's playing. We had really good participation in the territory war, too. I mean, especially for the first one, with only having 35 or 36 that were a part of it. I mean, it really worked out pretty well.
I even attacked.
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
Like a lot.
I'll say it's actually the first time I've attacked in a territory war in a really long time. I mean, it just
and who knows how long these vibes stay up for territory war, because you know how territory war is, but it's exciting. New, like you said, new guild feel, where it's kind of you get so used to every territory war. I'm like, okay, well, here's my orders. I got to put these teams here. Cool. Man, we placed Ewoks.
I know. That was cool.
I got so hyped when I saw the Ewoks were in one of our sectors. I was like, yes, let's do this.
And the nice part is they lived. So they didn't get beat.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, man.
But yeah,
it's been interesting.
Yeah. And I mean, let's dive a little bit into the territory wars. We've never done this on here. I mean, it just hasn't been that crazy, you know, for us, but it's kind of fun. Again, it's nothing too crazy. This is the first one, so obviously we have to be going against a guild maybe around our same piece, but it was B Prime is the guild that we went against. Just got a couple of highlights here because I thought it was kind of fun. Again, I don't know if it's a good score. It's probably not, but we're at 20,982 to their 17,747. Now, I do think it was interesting, too, that our first row was Grievous. Now, on the other side of it, I don't actually attack too much in territory wars, so Grievous is actually pretty tough with the stab, right? So, I mean, I did notice that, but we ended up getting 17 holds with our Grievuses. I felt like that was really cool.
Good Lord, did we really?
Yeah,
wow.
So that was really cool. And again, when you kind of look at it, I mean, obviously nothing happened with the Ewoks, but I did think it was kind of fun that we both had some holds there. So your Grievous got a hold, your Leia,
excellent,
and your Inquisitors. So I thought,
I'll take it.
How did I do against you? You ended up with 480 banners. I had only 2 teams that had a hold, but I had 2 for the Inquisitors and 6 for my Mon Mothma. So
oh my goodness,
that's kind of interesting. But you did beat me. I ended up only with a 467. So I will try to do better next time.
Wow,
leader.
13 banners. Jeez, oh Pete.
I actually thought it was interesting because they had their Geonosians, you know, basically is what we attacked first. And at first I'm going, it's been a while. Again, I haven't faced a Geonosian in Territory War because most of them have the Omicron on there. So I'm like going, there is no insight base that I can see so far. And there's probably something out there. I just haven't found it.
No,
it actually tells
really
you
isn't.
Yeah, what to actually use. So,
yeah,
you know, at first I'm like, there's no way Vader's going to beat this, right? Well, guess what? Vader doesn't beat it, right? Yeah. So it kind of was a little bit
especially
interesting.
I missed the first sector. I was working when that happened, but did they have Omicrons?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Then yeah, that's a hot mess, man.
Yeah, again, it makes me actually, when I think about Omicrons, I'm actually looking at those now because maybe I might actually use a couple of them. But we'll see how much we stay with this territory war mindset. But still, that was a little bit more challenging, and then not to have the resources like Insight to be able to just cheat. I mean, man, I'm no good unless I can cheat.
Yeah, heck yeah. Man, we shout out to Banthapudu Utini, by the way. Top dog in attacks. 419 banners. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Now, is that a good score? I legitimately don't know. That has to be a good score.
Yeah, you
right?
and I both had like 130 or so. So, yeah. I mean, is that a good score for a competitive guild?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's where I'm
I
like...
wouldn't know that. Yeah, that's been fun, though.
Oh, yeah.
So, Territory War number 1. Well, actually, number 1 we missed because we didn't have 25 people yet.
Yeah.
But
1-0.
Now we're up to 40, and it's looking pretty good. We got a plan. We got something in motion. Yeah, the officer corps is coming together. We're kind of like coordinating on plans there too. Very good to see.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Oh, you know what? Don't preload turn meter. I told someone I would say this. Don't preload turn meter. New guild. We gotta kind of not be super strict, but the number 1 rule in Territory Wars, the number 1 is don't preload turn meter. If you lose a battle, do not click submit. You forfeit. Unless you really did a number. Like if you're going up against Riva and you took Riva out, you could submit that.
Yeah.
You know? Or like up against Jabba and you take Chrysanthemum and Bausch out. I'd submit that. You know, if there's a significant amount of their arsenal that you have taken out, yeah, you can go ahead and submit it. You might as well. The banners are going to be lost, you know, some of them. But, yeah, we had a lot of like no rogue actions because we didn't block anything. But we had a lot of turd meter getting loaded. That took me back to the good old days. So whatever, it's all a work in progress. You know,
I mean, hey, if you can have some stumbles and still win, we'll take it. So
yeah, at the end of the day, there are 2 reward chests possible: first place and second place. And it doesn't matter how many times you preload turn meter if you get that first place.
There you go.
But you're not going to get that first place if you keep preloading turn meter.
No, you're not going to. I mean, I guess we got to get a little bit of structure on that one. But hey, I mean, it definitely works out. I mean, that I will say it was fun. It was actually fun attacking. I was surprised I was going to have fun attacking. And I like the fact that it just kind of... This is my first time ever having even this type of teams or even using bots for it to say where to put your people. I don't know. It was exciting. Yeah. I mean, we've just normally had, like previously, I liked it. We did a certain thing every single time and we adjusted somewhat, but no bots included to it. So it was fun. It was good.
Good. I'm telling you, it's the vibes. The vibes are immaculate here in the RF Tatooiners. Come check it out. Yeah, if you want to apply, hit us up on Discord or search in-game RF space Tatooiners.
No W in there.
If you don't know how to spell that, like look up Tatooine, right? Yeah. Put an RS at the end of it, Tatooiners. But hit us up on Discord so we know who you are. Yeah, so that was excellent. We also had our first couple raids go down, and those are just so stupid. I love it. Mine, I actually, we did one what day is it today? And when we released, it was Tuesday morning. We had our heroic Rancor raid, and I was able to stream it, so you can check that out on twitch.tv/theothersean. It is not a long stream.
Nope.
It's really not a long stream. I took Supreme Leader Kylo in, and we handled business. So the reason, I don't think I told the guild, the reason that I accidentally launched one at 8 a.m. was because I tried to do it at noon, and I accidentally set it for noon UTC, which is 8 a.m. here. Whoops. So I messed that up, but it's kind of funny. The first one we did was the tier 6, because you have to beat that before you can do heroic. And I missed that. There was just one person in the guild that took it down, and no one else got to play it.
Yeah. Felt like the old days.
These legacy guilds, there are no personal rewards anymore. So it doesn't matter. If one person goes in and crushes it, the whole guild still gets the same reward box at the end. It totally doesn't matter. There's no you didn't get in and hit it, so you don't get included. Nope, everyone gets it. That said, the rewards are bad. It's Mark 1 guild currency stuff. Cool. It's gone in a heartbeat.
I think it's 1,000. I think basically we got 1,000 of those, which is almost nothing.
I thought it was 1,600.
Was it? I
think. Which, okay.
It's
still nothing.
It really didn't feel like much. Again, that first one, I didn't get to obviously go. Now, I do think it was really funny. So you sent out a message saying raid time, and somehow I was able to do it, go through and get it, because I was there's only 3 of us that end up finishing it, and all 3 of us were...
officers.
The officers in Michigan
were the only ones that got it. Yeah, that's funny. It was 3 officers. We're all in Michigan, and it looked like a coordinated strike. All 3 of us went in and got to play it.
Well, that's what I thought was funny.
It was a mistake.
For us,
for the future ones, I should figure out a better time, because I'm guessing noon Eastern is not the best time for most people. We used to do them at 7 at night or something, when people are home from work, and maybe you got something going on, but if you don't, it's more likely that people are able to.
I did think it's funny though that we all did it at the same time, because that's it has to be going on during that too, and it's not very long. So I did think it's kind of funny that it all worked out that we did exactly the same time. Because, I did Slicker too, but I put the whole First Order team, and, it was just, wow. A couple moves
it's over
done.
Fast.
Yeah.
Those Gamorrean guards at the start, they don't take a whole lot of turns. Well, Rancor doesn't take a whole lot of turns.
No.
Through the whole thing, Rancor maybe takes 3 or 4 turns, and that's it.
I think I was having some flashbacks to basically the old Rancor, not the first one, but the challenge Rancor, because that's what I was expecting, and it was just slicing through like it was butter or lightsaber.
Yeah, it was a heck of a lot easier. So that was exciting. Let's see. I think that's the guild update, right? That's
guild update.
The news from the Tatooiners.
No W.
I don't know.
I just feel like I have to
say
that.
There's no W's. It's not a swear word if there's no W. I'm that's a swear word.
I know.
Goodness. Watch me trying to edit a video. You'll hear some swear words. Let's see. We did the Rancor. We did that. Let's move on to Grand Arena.
Yeah.
How was your week in Grand Arena? We did week 2 has concluded. Week 3, as we record, has just begun.
Yeah, so I actually first round went against Dur Diggity. I like that.
Dur Diggity.
It's just kind of fun as a whole. This time around, I didn't have the best of luck, and I think that's just kind of where I am right now. But I did win this first round because I had some wonderful luck because they just didn't play. So thank you so much, Dir Diggity. I really appreciate that.
I always like it when I see that they got like 65 points.
Right.
So they like did their one battle and then pieced out. Like that makes my heart happy. Like you got yours, buddy. I like that.
Well, I mean, that's like, at least do one battle so you get something.
Yeah.
Either way. So, kind of fun with this one. Actually, Darth Revan has been really fun and just trying to see what it can beat. I did find out that I could beat their Darth Revan and their Zelbar with the Omicron, so that was kind of nice to the mirror. It was actually real nice and easy. Another thing I did was actually used Seer, Starkiller, and Malakos against Leia. That's the first time I've ever done that. And that was an easy win, so that felt really good. And then I have the Bamcron, and so I thought, why not give him Queel, give him an IG, and so went against Shorty. I knew that was going to win, but it was a lot of fun to be able to actually have Bam feel a little bit powerful, but not totally powerful.
Yeah.
But the downside, 100% for me, is ships. They put all three of the big ones on defense, so that means...
Oof.
and again, if my Executor doesn't go through and win with the mirror match, you're just done. So that's just my thing with ships, and I think you're going to see that for the second one and also for the third one.
I'm sensing a trend here.
So getting done with that one again, I ended up having 1503 to a whopping 0. So going into that round, I was promoted. So that way I could be demoted the next round because it was actually a loss. So against Elrond Prime. And so this one had some good stuff and bad stuff in a lot of cases too, but Starkiller versus Rey won again. I do love that in 3v3 when they don't have anything in there too much, but now I did find out that Jabba just didn't like my Kylo, so that was kind of annoying. I won't lie. I think I have that a few different times, but Bo got the cleanup. But it seems like with Jabba 5v5, it just doesn't seem like I even worry one bit. Like it's an easy win with Slicker or with Jedi Master Kenobi, but for some reason he just gives me trouble in 3v3. Now, my Darth Revan attack, I decided against a Grand Inquisitor team. That was stupid easy. That was total overkill, but that was a real nice win. They had some weird defenses. The Jawas was out there, so I got to use my Malak against them. That felt really good. So, at that point, I feel good. I get everything go through. I don't think I had anything that I actually lost on, so I only had ships, and guess what? The Executor Mirror match, guess what? It is done. So, unfortunately, couldn't beat that one. So, they whooped me. They had a 2053, and I could only get a 1611. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That's no holds. That is just you get beat. But
yeah.
So I thought going into round 3,
headshot.
Right? Like I needed to. I gotta win this one because I gotta get back up to 3 to Kyber 3. But unfortunately, that didn't work out for me. Let me spoil it for you. The mirror match did not go through. I was so dang close though. Like this one was a challenging one, but I did get a full clear overall when it comes to the actual character side of it. Starkiller and Malakos versus Rey this time. I kind of threw that out there because they put in the back door, and I was a little bit nervous about that. So it did work. So we'll take it. This time around, defense was pretty weak. The only challenge was Jabba. My Jedi Master Kenobi ended up going through and timing out against Jabba, which, again, how? But it did. So for some reason, Karsantin just wouldn't die. And at that point, I just, you live. You go on.
Yeah.
And that's all that was. But I did get some good holds, so that was kind of nice. Queen P held against Treya. Now, my mother's held against their Malgus. And even I held off a Wampa with Iden, so I was pretty happy about that.
With my bare hands. I love it.
Except, I still lost, right? So it was 1603 to a whopping 1969 against a person's name I cannot say very well.
I had to Google it. It's Ermel mit dem Eis, which is like, it's kind of like what I might call Pidgin German. It's Ermel mit dem is with the ice, but there's a children's book, a German children's book called Ermel aus dem Eis, and it's Ermel of the Ice. He's a dragon named Ermel of the Ice. So it's mit dem instead of aus dem. I don't know, but whatever. That's what it is. I saw that in there and I was like, I gotta know what this is. It's a children's book. Cool.
That's awesome. So yeah, I was 1 for 2. So that does mean now I'm under 500. So that means I'm going to win a couple rounds, hopefully. Or I'm
it's
not.
Time.
I know, right? It's time. So that was my events. So tell me a little bit about yours.
Well, last week I went up against one particular harbor first, and I had mentioned that it didn't go great. Right, I was down. I was up at the time, 1289 to 207. They ended up putting up 1376, and kind of making me look a fool, but also joining RF Tatooiners.
Yeah, right.
So
in
the
who
guild,
really won?
like we both won that one. That was really cool. That was a very fun match, even though I got whooped on. As far as defenses, I had a few. They failed to take out my Jabba with Jedi Master Kenobi. They then failed with Mother Talzin, cleaned it up with Lord Vader. So I consider that a win.
Yeah.
They failed to take out my Negotiator with their Leviathan.
Ouch.
What? That's crazy to me.
Wow.
Then they cleaned it up with Executor. Then they tried to go Negotiator against my Malevolence, and that failed. They took out my Finalizer with Erratus. They then took out Malevolence with Executrix. But, I mean, that was just such a crazy fleet situation.
Yeah.
My Lord Vader held against their Sith Eternal Emperor. My Dark Trooper Moff Gideon held against Raddus. And my Tuscans held against Geonosians, which, like, Geonosians are just they're always assisting and gonna get themselves stunned. So that didn't go great. But round 2, I went up against Lucky Nader, and I did not stream. I have not been good about streaming on the weekends. I always do Wednesdays, and the weekends I just screw it up. I get busy and something happens. When I went to attack Lucky Nader, I couldn't get the full clear. I ended with 1081, and my Seer, Starkiller, and Malicos failed against Rey in that last round, and I said, well, that's about it. I'm done.
Understandable.
So 1081 is not great, but it's better than 689.
It is.
So I ended up winning that one. They also failed with a Starkiller versus my Rey. So there you go. This was a Starkiller Palpatine, like traditional Starkiller. They also got tripped up on my Reva, which they tried to take out with Raddus.
Oh, wow.
No.
I was gonna say, is that
Look, Lucky Nader, you're not that lucky.
I was gonna say,
That's not happening.
I'm not sure if that's on the list, so...
No. They tried to take out Enoch with a Wampa. That went about as you would expect. It took 41 seconds for me to smoke them. They then tried Jedi training Rey against Enoch. Ended up finally beating it with Beskar Mando. They tried to take out my Rey with Sith Eternal Emperor. No dice. Tried to take out Lord Vader with Mon Mothma. Almost pulled it off, but no dice. cleaned it up with Kylo unmasked with pointy teeth Rey. So that's kind of interesting to think about. You could use your slicker somewhere and have her with some other First Order team. But and then they tried to beat Rey with Jedi Master Luke, failed, and threw their phone across the room. Jeez. So I'll take that win. Round 3, I go up against Shepard. I log in, and they've got 1948. So here's what that tells me. 1, they cleared me. 2, it was kind of sloppy. 3, if I want to catch them, I have to actually do all the battles. So I don't want to do that because I'm lazy. And I put it off till like 4:30 p.m. or something. You know, I didn't save enough time to do my attacks, is what it came down to. So 1948, I put up 717. For attacks, I got tripped up on their Rey, as one does. I tried to beat it with Supreme Leader Kylo.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that didn't happen. That was not good. Not good at all. I took out their Ezra, but then it was Rey and Ben left. So I cleaned that up with Starkiller and Seer and Malicos. I got the pleasure of seeing one of those Darth Revan three people squads. And at this point, because I knew that they were sloppy, I thought, well, I can afford to lose one, right? So I sent Tarful in as a sacrifice. And then with that Omicron, mission dies instantly, turns Zalbar into a monster, right? Kills Tarful. So then you send anything in and it can clean it up because it's just a regular Darth Revan and a regular Zalbar, and that's not a good team when it's just the two of them. So I sent Adrad in and Rogue One, and they cleaned it up. I failed against Third Sister with my Traya, but I was able to take Third Sister out, so submit, right?
Right.
And then ultimately I just ran out of time. I was doing my Leviathan mirror match, and I knew I wasn't going to get it. I was just doing some battles for some credits at that point, you know? So not the best. But then this week, I went up against Dead You Are.
Oh,
I get it.
Darth Yoda.
Dead You Are. And I streamed this one on Twitch. It'll be, as this episode releases, if you go to twitch.tv/theothersean, it'll be the most recent one. It's a barn burner. It was a great match. They only dropped one battle against me and put up, 2011? So I'm thinking, I can't afford to mess up. And it got real dicey at the end there, where I cleared all of the squads out first try. And there were a couple of those that I wasn't sure about, but it worked out. And then I get to ships, and they put the big three. Come on.
I know.
I hate it when that happens. But I ended up doing, what did I end up doing? Leviathan mirror match. Right? Yes. And yeah, I had to think about this. I did 3 mirror matches. So Leviathan mirror match, if you know it, you know it. You bring out Scimitar as your first reinforcement. You use Sabotage the Engines as your first move for the capital ship. And then it's pretty much, that's all she wrote. For Profundity, I did a mirror match bringing out the TIE Bomber as my first reinforcement because that prevents them from getting any target locks. Or any assists. So that one worked out pretty well, like really well. And then Executor mirror match, I failed. I kind of goofed up. It's crazy. I had 4 ships out, and Boba Fett did his seismic charge and literally killed all of them. Like, what?
I know, right?
And it was a misplay. I could have taken him out, and I goofed up.
So I had to go back in and set things right with Chimera. And, buddy, I said it right. 2011 to 2015 was the score. So dead you are, it would seem. So, pretty action-packed week over here at the RF Tatooiners. Now, behind the scenes, that's the action, that's the fun stuff in the game. The Rancor, the battles in Grand Arena, the territory war, all that. But the hard work that gets you to where you can actually get these moments of gaming bliss, pure gaming bliss, territory war is the grind. And so, naturally, one must wonder who you grinded.
Man, it's not a lot. So I'm going to start with the best one first. The Punishing one went from 99 of 100 to 7 stars.
It's so good.
It's just done.
It feels so good.
Right? Just done. Now, the hard part is that's about it. No, I'm just joking. There's a couple extra little things. Yeah. But that was, now my Ahsoka grind.
I got one blueprint.
I know, right? That was it all day. So Ahsoka's getting really close. I had, Captain Rex was Relic 6 up to Relic 7 now. He is officially done. And so I am working on Plo right now. He went from Relic 5 to Relic 7. I just have one more for him. Now, the Shards grind, Padawan Sabine went from 87 out of 100 up to Relic 1. And then Hu Yang went from 53 out of 100 up to Relic 1. So we are ready to go with them. So basically at this point, I am just needing some signal data. So if you got some, pass along. I don't mind. I mean, really, I'll take anything you got.
Go to patreon.com/Galactic War Report and get us some signal data.
But yeah, so that is really it. 100%. I'm basically now, I went and did my configuring on what do I need to do so that way I can get Ahsoka up to Relic 7 at minimum by the time she's done. So, and now working on those. Now I do have so many things afterwards, but you know, it's one of those things where I want to get Ahsoka done as quickly as possible. I mean, it just always feels like when you get another Galactic Legend, whether it's a great one, not a great one, whatever it is, it just feels like it changes the game. And I feel like as soon as I get Ahsoka, it's just going to be one more step where I'm not towing the line between 4 and 3 when it comes to Kyber. So
yeah.
Because, man, I don't have Lord Vader. If I had Lord Vader, at least it would be something else on defense that would take something. So I think it still gets me to where, actually, we're the first time if I get her before you that we actually have the same amount of GLs. Huh.
Whoa.
I know, right? Twins.
I can't allow this. I can't allow this.
I know. I'm saying it as like, you're like, oh, I got to beat him now.
I'm going to take out a new credit card. We're not letting this happen.
That's funny. That's funny. So, I mean, geez, it feels like it's getting to a competition now, so I really need to know, because I got to find out if I'm still beating you or not on this, but who are you grinding?
You are beating me. The Ahsoka grind it's slow and it's painful.
Yeah.
And Padawan Sabine went from 2 up to 24 out of 100, and it just feels like it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Hu Yang went from 12 up to 31 out of 100. Also, just utter despair.
Wow, yeah.
The good news, Balin Skull, like when he rolls around, I was ready last week. I just want to be on the record. I am still ready.
Yeah, I know, right?
For that.
Anytime.
I did the same thing with Punishing One, 99 up to 100. Ah! Now get out of my favorites.
I know, right?
Peace out. That felt good. That felt really good. The other things I've done have all been some upgrades that are mostly for territory battle. So I took Ugnaught I was working on him last week. I got him from Relic 3 up to Relic 5. So for operations, right? I took Darkside Ray from Relic 5 up to Relic 7 because I want to use her in territory battles. And now I have a full Relic 7 First Order team that just feels... I was using First Order, and the 5th slot was Wampa, and it was working for me. But, like, I know maybe it seems stupid, but that's the team I wanted.
Yeah.
Was to have Darkseid Ray on it. So,
I
whatever.
Gotcha.
Additionally, I have started relicking up Dr. Aphra from Relic 5 up to Relic 6. She'll go to 7 because she's got a special mission. Now, this last territory battle, we didn't even talk about that, did we?
Oh, no, we didn't.
Oh, my God.
Oops, yeah.
Road trip. Let's talk about territory battle for a second here. We ended up with, 23 stars?
Yeah.
Which
That's
I
not
know
bad.
there's guilds out there pulling more than that. I don't care. I'm super proud of what we did. We didn't really drop any stars that were like I was shaking my fist at. There's maybe one that we could have gotten on one of the early on phase 2. I think the middle planet on phase 2. I think we missed 1 star, but we missed it by a good amount. So I'm not sure that we even had the GP if everyone would have done things differently. So it was on the line, but it's not something I'm concerned about. People were really really on it, doing their stuff. It's tough because platoons, we don't have them all covered. So what I noticed is if these things aren't getting covered, some of these battles are a little tougher. I was still able to finish most of my combat missions. Like I didn't notice a big difference. My combat missions were getting done.
Yeah.
That said, I decided for the good of the guild that my next Omicron would be Marak. So I gave him his Omicron because we didn't fill the operation, which means you go up against Obi-Wan and that one little Rhodian guy.
Yeah, I lost.
And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to give this guy his Omicron so that I can contribute to Riva shards. And it was so stinking easy.
Oh, wow.
So easy. So, I mean, it's certainly a case can be made that that's not a good Omicron to do. A case can be made, but I don't regret it. I think it was the right call for me to do that. I think a lot of people listening to this will say, no, that's crazy. And it would be for you to do it. But for me, it kind of made sense. And yeah, that's the only Omicron. I've got another one I'll be building up. I really actually think I can save one.
Wow.
I think I can save it. I'm sure I'll find something to spend it on by next week.
I was going to say, it's already burning. It's already burning.
I'm so good at that. So good at that. And then for Zetas, I did Crosshair. Got him up to, gear 11 Zeta. So he's ready. I've got a few Zetas built up. I'm not quite at the point where I have to spend them. But, I might. The other thing I was going to say is I got some of those Ascension packs too. The Relic Ascension and the Bad Batch Ascension one in particular I thought was kind of cool because I had so many people that were very close to 5 stars. You get like 5 shards, it's going to kick them up to 5 stars. So I did the free one, did the $1.99. I think it goes to 5 and then 10. I spent less than $20 and I boosted a lot of stars. And there's always a conversation about, is it worth it in this game? Like, it depends, man. It depends on where you're at, how happy it makes you seeing 1 star go up when realistically it doesn't change the character in any meaningful way until you get into relics, But, yeah, I did those and then I think I paid for one. Like the $1.99 Relic Ascension one too, because I just needed a little bit of signal data to kick someone up to Relic. I think that's what finished Ray or something like that, But all in all, not a bad week. Not a bad week.
For sure.
Very strange goals that I've accomplished, but I've accomplished them. That's all we got for you this week. It may not be the best advice, but at least we didn't recommend you apply Marox Omicron. It was a me thing. If you want to continue the conversation, join our Discord server. It's linked in the show description. Become a real live Jawa by supporting us on Patreon, and share your thoughts by leaving us a podcast review. Big thanks also go out to Pabuapa and swgoh.gg and swgohevents.com for providing all the hard data we misinterpret weekly. Thanks for tuning in, and may the Force and RNG be with you.